join the circle. Come and take my hand. Come and join the circle. Come and be my friend. Gather round and see what the world can be. Come and join the circle. Come and share God's word with me. Hi, boys and girls. How are you this week? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another Circle Time. One of my favorite Circle Time lessons ever to talk about. Who knows what this is? I hope you're all saying pumpkin right now. Have you carved one this week with your family? I hope so. Have you ever seen, if you helped carve one with your family, did you see the seeds? See, I've got one little tiny seed here I saved. Not too little, not too big. These get planted early on in the springtime, the early summer, late spring, early summer. And it takes all summer long for these pumpkins to grow. Have you ever been to a pumpkin patch or a pumpkin farm? I drive past Naysgards every day on my way into town to go to work and come home again, and I see the bright orange fields all full of pumpkins. It's really quite a sight to see. Are all pumpkins the same? Does your pumpkin look exactly like my pumpkin? I don't think so. Pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes. Some are tall pumpkins, some are round pumpkins. Lots of them have lumps and bumps on them that look different. I've even seen giant pumpkins that are huge. That's the way God made us. Made pumpkins all different, made people all different. You don't look like me and I don't look like you, and that's a good thing. We need different people in the world. But I love talking about pumpkins at this time of year. Do you know why? Because they remind me of the saints, of what you and I can be one day. Saints, that's right. This weekend on Sunday is actually the Feast of All Saints, a very special day in our church, and we get to celebrate all the many, many holy men and women who lived before us. But what was their trick? What made them a saint? Why are they so super holy? Well, if I compare it to my pumpkin, I can tell you a little bit about how. When I first got this pumpkin home from where I bought it, it was very dirty. It was all muddy. I put it in my sink and I poured water on it and I washed it with a cloth. I made it all very nice and clean and shiny. That kind of reminds me, just like the saints, they had their sins washed away and they became shiny new in Jesus in the sacrament of baptism, just like you and I when we were baptized. Our souls are washed clean. The next thing I had to do, I cut the top off to make a hole in my pumpkin. And I cleaned all of this gunky stuff out. Have you ever touched all that stuff? It's slimy and gunky. Cleaned it all out. Dig out all that gunky stuff. And the seeds kind of reminds me of the messy stuff like sin in our lives. Things that happen. And they happen to the lives of the saints too. Jesus helps us get rid of all of that with prayer and reading the scriptures and the sacrament of reconciliation. He helps us to get all that bad stuff out of our life and to make room for him in our hearts, just like I did in this pumpkin. Then I carved a beautiful happy face, nice smiling pumpkin. I like smiley pumpkins. That's what happens when we love Jesus. We end up smiling a lot. Jesus makes us happy, gives us peace. And with the saints, he did the same thing, made them very happy, especially now living with him in heaven. But watch what happens now when I put this light inside my pumpkin and I light it. There it goes. You might not see it too much because it's not dark yet, but can you see a little bit of a glow coming out of the pumpkin's eyes? Just like the saints that lived with the light and the love of Jesus inside their hearts and shining through everything that they did. The light shines through my pumpkin's eyes, its nose, its mouth for all to see. The saints had the love of Jesus shining in them and all that they did when they lived on earth. That's our challenge now too, isn't it? The scriptures, and I'll post a picture of this lovely little picture. The scriptures even remind us of this little pumpkin story. The last part here is what our Bible's open to today. The Gospel of Matthew, it's one of the 4 Gospels. The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16 says, "And he put his light inside you to shine for all the world to see." Isn't that a nice reminder? Jesus wants to live in us so that we can shine and radiate his light and his love to everyone in our world. So So even though this year our celebrations will be different, we're not having a big All Saints party, and I'm very sad about that, but looking forward to next year when we can do it, hopefully. Please God. And if you go trick-or-treating or you celebrate with your family, celebrate Halloween and All Saints in a different way, it might be a little bit smaller than usual because of COVID this year. But I hope that when you look around and you see pumpkins that are all lit up this week, it will remind you of the saints and Jesus' love shining brightly through them. Hopefully, it will remind you to ask Jesus to fill your heart so that you will shine out his love. That reminds me of a song. So I think we'll close with a prayer right now. Let's sing along with Cat Chat and ask Jesus to fill our heart. God bless you. Sing along with me because I know that you know this song. We've sung it lots before. Jesus, fill my heart. Make this your prayer when you see pumpkins this week. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Jesus, fill my heart. Jesus, fill my mind. Jesus, fill my words. Jesus, fill my actions. Love, fill my heart. Love, fill my mind. Love, fill my words. Love, fill my actions. That's right. Sing along, boys and girls. Please fill my heart. Please fill my mind. Please fill my words. Please fill my actions. Joy fill my heart. Joy fill my mind. Joy fill my words. Joy fill my actions. Jesus in my heart. Jesus in my mind. Jesus in my words. Jesus in my actions. God bless you, boys and girls. Let's keep the love of Jesus burning brightly in our hearts so we can share with everybody. Have a great week. See you next